Attendees in Berlin included the presidents of Russia, Turkey, France and Egypt, the AU Commission chair and the United Nations chief.
I cannot stress enough the summit's conclusion that there is no military solution to the conflict in Libya. All participants have mentioned it several times during the meeting, even those that are more directly involved in the conflict itself. And today, all participants committed to refrain from interference in the armed conflict or the internal affairs of Libya. This is part of the conclusions. And of course, these must be adhered to, as well as the call to silence the guns with the termination of all military hostilities.
A truce brokered earlier this month by Russia and Turkey marked the first break in fighting in months, but there have since been reports of repeated violations with calls for a fully fledged ceasefire to end all hostilities. The leaders of both sides each named 5 members of a military committee that is expected to represent them at talks that could lead to a permanent ceasefire. The United Nations has indicated that the committee will convene in Geneva in the coming days, while the UN chief had firm words on violations of the arms embargo.
I think we are witnessing something that is totally unacceptable. It's a constant violation of international law. It's Security Council resolutions that are not being respected. And this is taking place, as you know, this is taking place in the recent past in Libya. So I am totally convinced that the members of the Security Council need to assume their responsibilities for the body itself to be taken seriously in the context of the Libyan conflict.
With a view that the Berlin conference succeeded in fending off the risk of a true regional escalation.
Germany is committed to this process, and as you know, Germany chairs the sanctions subgroup of the Sanctions Committee of the Security Council. And what is very important that we now really implement international law, that we implement international humanitarian law, that we implement also the sanctions regime. And this is the most important. We will not have a real ceasefire if the delivery of weapons continues into this process. So ceasefire, respect for the arms embargo, political process, economic process, humanitarian process. This is now what we'll hope to see.
With speculation here that the Security Council might be weighing the option of deploying a further UN presence to Libya to monitor any future ceasefire. Shervin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.